Hello guys, welcome to my stream. No, it's not what we were expecting. We were expecting a collab, but one of the Phasmo members had to cancel because it was a really long day at work, and so they needed some rest. And Phasmophobia is just not as fun with only 2 people. Hello, welcome to the stream. Hi. Ooh, the names are blue now. I never know what color is gonna be the chat's names. It's randomized, I guess. So it's interesting to see. Yeah. So today, since I didn't have anything else planned, I'm just gonna do some SCP readings for about an hour. So if you guys have any suggestions over which SCPs you want to hear me read, then please type them into the chat, and I'll get them all pulled up and ready. Let's see. Music seems good. I'm not as prepared as I probably should be, because I was expecting a collab, so I had to like scramble to get things all pulled up and stuff. How was your guys' days? Please tell me how your guys' days went. I want to hear. Like always, of course. It doesn't look like there's that many people here. I hope I didn't confuse you guys too much with the schedule switching. Harrowing horse anesthesia is difficult. I can't imagine. Lazy. That sounds really nice right about now. I wish I could be lazy. I had a midterm today. Oh my gosh, wait. A story for that from that midterm. SCP. Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. I like that one. So my midterm, it was from history. It was from history class. And ooh, hold on one second. Pause the story. My day has been alright, trying to get over being sick whilst working on music stuff. Ooh. Music stuff. That sounds fun though. I hope you get over being sick super soon. Welcome to my stream, by the way. I don't recognize your name. Hello. I hope your music stuff goes really well. So the midterm, we had to do, there was like some fill in the blanks, discussion questions, and along with an essay. It was supposed to take the course of about an hour and 15 minutes. So there was a lot of time to do it, especially since there was an entire essay portion. But right before we started, the emergency alarm rang and we had to evacuate the building. I still have no idea what happened, but it took a small chunk of the time. So it was like the worst timing possible for an alarm like that to ring, like right before a midterm. So that was stressful. And I just felt drained the entire rest of the day. But other than that, my day was pretty good. I wish I could just like have a lazy day, but spring break is coming up, so I'm looking forward to that. Oh, speaking of spring break, there will not be any streams next week because I'm gonna go on vacation. But the week after next week, the streams will continue back on schedule. I just wanted to let you guys know, and I'll make an official post in my Discord channel and in my Twitter going over it, so you guys don't forget. Let me get SCP-001 pulled up. You rearrange my screens. Okay. SCP-001 Gate Guardian. There's some pretty artworks of this SCP. I want the official SCP. Let's see if this is the right one, because I know there's like several different SCP-001s. SCP-2521? Hold on. In order to prevent knowledge being leaked. I'm trying to see if this is the correct file, because I don't want to accidentally pull up the right one. Or the wrong one. I don't think this is the correct page. SCP-169? Okay, yes, but where is the files? It's like it's like doing this fancy thing where it's like, these are top secret files, you have been warned, and then it shows nothing. I don't understand. Wait. Codename. Okay, I found him. I just need to find the correct one. The Gate Guardian. Gate Guardian. Oh, there it is. I found it. Ooh, that's super cool. It has like a GIF. Can I say, I want to save this and put it in OBS so you guys can see it. Do it in downloads. Let me see if I can pull it up, because this is pretty cool. Media source. Media source. Okay, well, it just disappeared into the void. That's awesome. Alright, never mind. I guess I can't show you guys. Dang. It's fine. Let's see. Okay. It's called Dr. Clef's Proposal. Item number SCP-001. Object class Euclid/Keter. Special containment procedures. Because of the nature of SCP-001, no containment procedures are necessary. 24/7 monitoring of SCP-001 is to take place from a safe 10km plus distance from a predetermined location, Site 0. The location of Site 0 is known only to the current SCP administrator and the single overseer level agent of Abrahamic faith assigned to monitor SCP-001 from Site 0. Said agent is authorized to take action necessary should SCP-001 become active, and is required to immediately alert the administrator and all other overseer level agents should SCP-001 show any change in behavior, as this may constitute the beginning of an XK class end of the world scenario. Should SCP-001 become active in any way, personnel are required to immediately consult the series of emergency orders. Decoding algorithms for emergency orders are to be maintained on site at Site 0, in the possession of the designated observer, and are to be transmitted to SCP Foundation offices only in the event of an SCP-001 becoming active. Foundation personnel with vital roles in one or more variants of emergency procedures are to be advised to take the following precautions: to maintain good relations with one or more organized Abrahamic faiths, to maintain on hand a supply of the following: holy water, a rosary, crucifix, cross, prayer rug, or other symbol blessed by an Abrahamic cleric of bishop or equivalent higher rank, a copy of Abrahamic scriptures, Torah, Bible, Quran, and standard emergency supplies in mobile form. In case of a premillennial rapture scenario, all vital personnel are to designate a secondary operative of non-Abrahamic faith. Said secondary operative is to be informed of the location of the primary designates copy of the emergency procedure and mimetic kill agent inoculant, and this is to be kept on ready status to take over the primary duties as necessary. To maintain familiarity with all other SCPs involved in end of the world scenarios. Description: SCP-001 is a humanoid entity approximately 700 cubits in height, located in an undisclosed location near the intersection of the Tigris and Euphrates rivers. The following features are known about the entity: a number of luminous wing-like appendages emerging from the shoulders, back, temples, ankles, and wrists of the entity, although an accurate count has never been established. Most observers place the number of wings at anywhere from 2 through 108, which the mean number being 4. A weapon, possibly a sword or knife, SCP-001-2, The weapon appears to emit flames at a temperature rivaling that of the sun. Based on the spectrographic analysis, although there appear to be no destructive effects from the intense heat on the surrounding area, any entity that approaches within 1 kilometer of SCP-001 is immediately struck by the weapon and obliterated from existence. Any and all hostile actions taken towards SCP-001 have resulted in the annihilation of the attacker, regardless of range. See Incident Report, Re-Indian Ocean Submarine Missile Experiment. SCP-001 appears to be standing with its head bowed in a gesture of supplication, with SCP-0012 held in both hands point down in front of it. Since originally recorded by the founder over data redacted years ago, SCP-001 has not deviated from this stance. Human beings exposed to SCP-001 report hearing a voice in their heads, giving them a directive which the subject reports cannot be disobeyed. The most common directive is forget, which results in the subject walking away from SCP-001 with no memory of having encountered it. On rare occasions, however, other directives have been given. The most famous of these is the one given to the founder, prepare, which he has claimed formed the founding for data redacted to catalog and contain any and all supernatural and or paranormal artifacts that represent a serious threat to the current existence of humanity. This is the organization now known as the SCP Foundation. Observers have reported that SCP-001 appears to be standing in front of a gate in immense proportions. Long-range photographs have occasionally detected what appears to be a pastoral grove within, containing numerous other entities of the same composition as SCP-001, as well as several fruit trees of unknown composition. Of particular note are 2 fruit trees of immense proportion near what appears to be the center of a grove. One is noted appears to be an ordinary apple tree, although the other bears a fruit unknown to Earth, described as data expunged. It is the avowed belief of the founder that the gate which SCP-001 guards may be the gate to expunged, based on correlations with ancient Babylon text and the Dead Sea Scrolls, in which case one can deduce that the entity known as SCP-001 may be expunged. Addendum 001-A. Experimentation re SCP-0012's effective kill range. 1. Experiment A. 1 Class D personnel instructed to approach SCP-001 as closely as possible on foot. Result: upon making visual contact with SCP-001, subject is ordered to leave. Subject immediately turns away from entity and walks away. Despite repeated orders to continue the experiment, Class D personnel refuses to obey and is terminated. Upon termination of Class D personnel, all research staff involved are immediately obliterated by an unknown force, presumably SCP-0012. Experiment B. 1 remote-operated research robot guided to approach SCP-001 from the ground. Results: upon approaching within 1 kilometer of SCP-001, research robot is obliterated, presumably by SCP-0012. All further attempts at remote reconnaissance have the same result. Experiment C. 100 pre-programmed research drones instructed to approach SCP-001 from multiple angles simultaneously. Result: coordination is successful, and all 100 drones cross the 1 kilometer mark simultaneously. However, all 100 are simultaneously obliterated by SCP-0012. Sorry. Designated observer at Site 0 reports that SCP-0012 appeared to strike in all directions at once. SCP-001 did not deviate from its stance while this took place. Experiment D. Wire-guided missile fired from a distance of 3 kilometers. Result: SCP-0012 obliterates weapon upon crossing the 1 kilometer mark, simultaneously obliterating the launch site and killing all personnel. Experiment E. Multi-warhead intercontinental ballistic missile fired from SCP nuclear submarine Nautilus. Result: Sea Indian Ocean submarine missile experiment. I don't think it went well, guys. Experiment F. SCP-076 and Task Force Omega-7 instructed to approach SCP-001 on foot. Results: SCP-076 refuses to carry out mission despite not being informed of the mission's nature. Upon being asked why, SCP-076 replies, "No. Just no." Ooh, that's a good SCP. I'm gonna have to read that one eventually. It's able, kind of biblical in nature, just like SCP Gate Guardian. And speaking of able, Cain is in the next experiment, I think. I think that's SCP-073. I think that's Cain. Experiment G. SCP-073. Due to the results of Experiment F, SCP-073 was not informed of his destination until arriving at Site 0. Result: SCP-073 approached the site on foot. Upon seeing SCP-001, SCP-073 became distressed and asked to abort. SCP-073 was ordered to continue. At that point, the symbol on SCP-073's forehead became data expunged. Experiment was terminated due to data expunged. See Addendum 001-AA. Bless me. Alright. Here's Addendum 001-AA. By executive order of the administrator, no further experiments are to be carried out re SCP-001. No further SCPs are to be exposed to SCP-001. SCP-001 is not to be used to dispose of dangerous SCPs. Please see revised containment procedures. The following errant transmission was received by Foundation personnel. Initiate emergency procedure. End of world scenario. All Foundation personnel. The following message was received at approximately data expunged this morning from Site 0. SCP-001 has left its location. The gate is open. They are raiding forth. Oh god, it's so beautiful. The Lord is gone. The Lord... Wait, hold on. There's a bunch of text that has no spaces. The Lord reign. The Lord has reigned. The Lord shall reign forever. The Lord reign. The Lord shall reign forever. He is God. He is God. God the Lord. He is God. He arose. He... Israel, the Lord, our God, the Lord, is one. Because of this event's confluence with the recent breach of SCP-0995, the opening of SCP-616, and the activation of SCP-098, the Foundation is required to immediately begin preparation for an end-of-world scenario. SCP-076 and 073, Cain and Abel, are to be secured immediately. All personnel are to unlock and decode emergency order end-of-world scenario and follow all orders within. Site 19 is to be secured, and all non-essential SCPs and personnel terminated and or destroyed. Repeat. Because of this event's confluence, it's repeating it over and over again, and then the transmission loses signal. Upon contacting Site 0, they responded that no such message had been sent from this location and that SCP-001 remained inert. The transmission was initially determined to be a hoax. However, close examination of the transmission reveals the timestamp dated data redacted years in the future. It is theorized that data expunged. So that's a pretty cool SCP. That's super cool. It explains the beginning of the Foundation. That's pretty cool. I like that a lot. Let's see. The next suggestion was SCP-2521. 2521. Let's see. Oh. Where's the article? I'm not seeing any article of 2521, unfortunately. Wait, is this it? It's just a whole bunch of symbols and pictures. Is that what it's meant to be? There's no text. I don't know what any of these pictures mean. I'll show you guys the pictures. Yeah, I'm gonna show you guys the pictures. Can I like zoom in? I'll figure it out later. But yeah, it's just a bunch of pictures. I basically think maybe this means don't write stuff down. Don't save. Don't talk about it. Maybe. 0, 1, 2, 3, what? 4, 5. Okay, and it exits out. That's awesome. Thanks for doing that. You would be taken by it. Oh. Sticky tentacles. It can't be contained, I guess, maybe? Yeah, okay, I guess I'm gonna get taken now. That's awesome. I guess it's instructed to write about it, maybe? And then, oh my gosh, freaking traumatized. Talk about it. Oh. He loves him. Wow, okay. That's cool. I've never seen one like that before. That's pretty neat. Let's see, SCP-169. SCP-169. No, not SCP-19. SCP-169. Ooh. Ooh. Yes. Is this the freaking Leviathan? Come on, where's the article? I see pictures, but not the article. Don't be this mean to me. Come on, give me the article, give me the article. It sounds so cool, but I can't find the article. SCP, what about this one? This one? Oh, yes, I found it. Awesome, 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 awesome. Okay. Okay. Item number SCP-169. Object Class Keter. Special Containment Procedures. Because of the size, SCP-169 cannot and almost certainly will never be contained. No structure on Earth is large enough or strong enough to contain SCP-169. The location of SCP-169 is not precisely known, but imaging satellites and analysis of eccentricities in the Earth's orbit suggest SCP-169 is located in the southern Atlantic Ocean, possibly stretching around the tip of South America. See Addendum 020. Any satellite footage of a shift in the land masses produced by SCP-169 is to be excised and destroyed by embedded agents. SCP-169 is surmised to be a marine arthropod of enormous size known as the Leviathan by generations of sailors in oral history. Presumed at first to be a myth, SCP-169 was detected on Data Expunged by Mobile Task Force Gamma-6 during an investigation of paranormal activity around the Data Expunged archipelago. Coordinates Data Expunged. During the investigation, Dr. Data Expunged discovered the archipelago to have moved at least 3 kilometers from its original location. Though initially, Doctor believed that this motion was due to an unusually quick continental drift. A reconnaissance mission performed by the USS Data Expunged revealed the archipelago to be the protrusions of rock-like plates covering the enormous organic mass. The Foundation was brought in immediately to begin threat management. Dr. Blank and Dr. Blank estimate SCP-169's body length to be between 2,000 and 8,000 kilometers. The creature is thought to have existed since the pre-Cambrian era. No other species have been cited. Almost nothing about SCP-169's habits, such as its reproductive capabilities, if any, food source, and nesting area, if any, is known. Research regarding SCP-169's pending approval. The archipelago known as the Data Expunged Islands have historically been uninhabited, though claimed by Data Expunged. Upon handover to the Foundation, Data Expunged presence was evacuated on the pretense of rising sea levels, though the archipelago has remained above sea level for several millennia. Any change of depth by SCP-169 could result in the disappearance of the entire archipelago. SCP-169 moves slowly, less than 1 kilometer per week, but seems only to be adrift. Its method of propulsion is unknown. Regular seismic tremors seem to indicate breathing about every 3 months, causing minor shifts in the island's terrain, suggesting that the creature is probably dormant. Information suppression. The USS Data Expunged was scuttled with all hands immediately after the discovery of SCP-169 with the permission of the American government. The public is forbidden from entering the archipelago created by SCP-169 due to the conveniently large number of resident endangered bird species. As indicated above, satellite footage is to be doctored in order to suppress knowledge of SCP-169's movement. NASA is currently cooperating with the Foundation in keeping the existence of SCP-169 quiet, and is currently permitting the Foundation's use of their satellites for photographic use. Addendum 020. In the 1990s, the U.S. National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, an American sufficient agency unaffiliated with and unaware of the existence of the Foundation, detected an ultra-low frequency underwater sound emitting from data expunged, approximately data expunged kilometers from the southwestern coast of South America. Despite the best efforts of embedded agent, news of the sound leaked to the media, receiving significant media coverage. Foundation analysis concluded that a massive underwater organism was the source of the noise, and SCP-169 was hypothesized to be its source. At its head is well within the possible locations of the rest of SCP-169. The sound confirms their hypothesis that SCP-169 is a gargantuan in size. Future efforts by scientific or civilian teams to determine the source of the noise must be stopped by any means necessary. I love super big things like that. That's so cool. I love it so much. Okay, what's next? SCP-084. 084. 804. I'm stupid. Hold on. 804. SCP-804. SCP-804. Okie dokie. You want to pet that SCP? Good luck with that. Okay. You'd just basically be petting an island. Okay. SCP-084, Object Class Keter. This will probably be the last one I read because my throat's starting to get sore. I'm just letting you guys know. Worth it? Sure, it's totally worth it. Special Containment Procedures. Until such time as SCP-084 is found to be without any mimetic effect, it is to remain in its original location at the former site of data expunged, Alaska, where exposure to the elements prevents its reactivation. A 30-meter by 30-meter camouflage tarp is to be maintained over SCP-084, and facilities for armed guards and testing are to be maintained 130 meters from its location. Trespassers are to be treated with the Class A amnestics and returned to the nearest town of data expunged or terminated at the discretion of on-site security in the event of SCP-084 being approached or seized by a hostile armed force. Contingency 084X is to be executed. I love listening to your voice. Thank you so much! I'm so glad to hear that. I try my best to be clear and not fudge any words. I hope you guys are having a good time. Description. SCP-08... I keep saying 084, I'm realizing. I'm sorry about that. 804. SCP-804 is at the remains of an art installation titled World Without Man, revealed on Data Expunged by the defunct artist group Unelmat Paremasta? Something, I think, I can't pronounce that, I'm sorry. I'll say UPM. According to documentation retrieved and deleted from the artist's website during the cleanup procedure, SCP-804 was originally a large, clear globe of the Earth with several smaller globes and video equipment within. Promotional material on the website implied that the globe was to display images of pastoral wilderness untouched by mankind, contrasted with visuals of abandoned human industry and decaying landmarks. Upon activation before a small audience of prominent environmental activists and artists from nearby community of blank, SCP-804 began to display its destructive properties. We can only speculate if the device's output was intentional or not, as those involved in its construction perished during the incident or have gone into hiding. While the globes within SCP-804 rotate, all man-made artifacts within approximately 100 meters began to rapidly deteriorate until completely disintegrated. The effects applies to anything ranging from machinery to buildings, clothing, plastics, synthetic chemical compounds, and any tool more complex than a sharpened stick of wood. The area of effect grows the longer the device is active, with the effect growing ever stronger at its source. Human tissue is also affected at a slower rate of decay, causing victims to become emaciated as they lose body mass, leading up to collapse of the skeleton and death, with the body softly breaking down into component matter shortly thereafter. Non-human life is completely unaffected. Persons who escape the area of effect experience symptoms similar to prolonged starvation, but can return to full health with proper care. If not for the fact that it is not entirely immune to its own effects, SCP-804 would have had the potential to remove all trace of humanity from the globe in a matter of weeks. Judging from the observed rate of destruction upon original activation versus its current capabilities under testing, SCP-804's capabilities have been impaired by the damage it caused itself. However, sustained use still presents an extreme threat, especially if the device is somehow refined or repaired. Due to the circumstances in which SCP-804 was secured, it is strongly believed that the device also possesses some form of mental compulsion on those who view it. But testing is still going on to determine if that property has been compromised by the decay of SCP-804 and how it might be contained. See recovery log for further information. Recovery log SCP-804. Approximately 5 minutes after activation, the effect of SCP-804 reached the nearby community of data expunged. Citizens who were not at the art show initially responded with panic and made several emergency calls. And due to the extreme remote location of the town, the first response was made by a small single-prop aircraft which arrived within 30 minutes later. Although the plane entered the area of effect and was quickly lost, the pilot did relay a radio message describing the swift and complete destruction of the town's buildings. At this point, the Foundation became aware of the situation and teams of agents were sent to investigate. By the time the agents were able to arrive on scene, SCP-084 had been intermittently active for nearly 8 hours, and as a result, the town and everything in a radius of data expunged was wiped clean of any trace of human civilization. Upon arrival, one plane was immediately affected. Fortunately, the crew was able to make an emergency landing before the physical structure of the plane collapsed around them. Unfortunately, their equipment and clothing was also quickly disintegrated, exposing them to the extreme cold of northern Alaska. As a result, 6 agents had to be treated for hypothermia, but all are expected to return to duty with no lasting effects. After recovering the crew of the downed plane, agents set up a perimeter and were able to observe the epicenter of SCP-084's effect. The surviving population of data expunged had crowded around the remains of the device. All subjects observed were severely emaciated, and suffering from severe hypothermia. Exposure had only worsened the effect of SCP-804, and many subjects were observed with missing digits and even limbs. The survivors were approaching the device in teams of 2 to 3 to push at the single remaining globe within SCP-804's housing in order to maintain its effect. As each subject eventually succumbed and collapsed, another from the crowd of onlookers would shuffle forward to take their place. Survivors were seen to be cheering and encouraging those who were maintaining the device until their turn to push the frosted globe came up. Although such manual operation was not sufficient to maintain even the radius of the effect of the device had achieved before damaging itself. Agents were authorized to open fire on the crowd. Although bullets experienced the same decay as any other artifact, their velocity was enough to strike lethal wounds before decomposition. When the remaining globe of SCP-804 ceased to spin, the effect ended and agents were able to move in and secure the device. Survivors attempted to resist but lacked the strength to impede Foundation agents and began to act in a disoriented manner once they were removed from SCP-804. With no adequate facilities remaining to provide shelter, many survivors chose to simply lie down in the snow and die, while others attempted to provoke agents using lethal force upon them. Those who were taken into custody refused to answer any questions and were able to refuse enough care that they did not recover from their physical decay. As exposure to the extreme elements of northern Alaska appears to adequately contain SCP-084 by freezing its remaining machinery in place, it was decided to leave the device on site and under guard along with data expunged in the unlikely event that a hostile faction attempts to secure the device. Addendum: SCP-804 is not to be contained within any Foundation facility until it is certain that we will be able to prevent anyone from being compelled to activate or maintain the rotation of the globe. Even a few minutes of SCP-804's effect could destroy its own containment and seriously compromise any other containment nearby. Memetic Research Report. This is the third annual review of any supernatural memetic component to SCP-804, and we still have not produced any significant results. It's time to put the controversy on SCP-804's memetic properties to rest once and for all. Yes, SCP-804 possesses memetic properties, and yes, these properties were responsible for driving the survivors of its activation event into sacrificing themselves to maintain the device. There is nothing especially virulent or dangerous about SCP-804's memetic properties. Only a few select personality types outlined in the attached report have any desire to reactivate the device. Most notable are the D-class sociopaths who show similar amusement when presented with a big red button that says "kill everything." We've been looking at this all wrong. There is no magical compulsion that could drive so many people to destroy themselves. There does not need to be. Everything we observe during recovery can be explained by mundane group dynamics and human nature. The device had just wiped away all trace of the work and the lives of a reclusive artist and activist community. The buildings crumbled to dust so fast that people were not even injured in the collapse. And at the center of it all, a world without man turned around and around on its increasingly rickety platform, offering a deadly premise that had been presented to them as an ideal, a cure for the virus known as humanity. So why did a group of activists throw themselves and their neighbors into deadly workings of a machine that they thought was going to wipe all human life off Mother Earth? They simply wanted to do it. Oh my goodness, my throat is destroyed. That was super cool. That was really interesting. I liked that one a lot. Let me look over the ones I read so I can add them to the title of this video. Oh my god, my throat. Okay, let's see. We read 2521, right? No, I think I wasn't able to find that one. We read 001, SCP 001. 001. No, we were able to read 2521, right? Let me see. I don't remember. Yeah, we were. It was not exactly a reading, but I'll add it in anyways. 2521 169. You can hear like my voice getting like scratchy. Oh my goodness. And 804. I'll edit the tags later. I just wanted to add this to the title. Maybe I should change those to slashes because I add the titles into the tags. I'll make them slashes instead. Yeah, my voice is I'm maybe it's a good thing I'm going on vacation because my voice is actually demolished. There we go. Save. Oh my goodness, okay. Yeah, oh my goodness. My voice. I'm sorry that this stream wasn't what we were expecting. But I hope you guys enjoyed it anyways. What's an SCP? I'm old and not cool like that. An SCPs are these articles, these fictional scientific logs of items and creatures or places that have supernatural effects. So, and there's like an entire website about them and it's super cool. That's what SCPs are. And people have even made games based on these different articles. There's like hundreds of these things. It's super cool. I like them a lot. I've only read like a fraction of them. Oh my god, my throat. Okay. That's cool. Heck yeah, it is. I need to go. Oh my god. Thank you guys so much for coming. I'm so glad you guys could make it even though it wasn't what we were expecting. This was really fun. I had a good time. I hope you guys enjoyed listening to me read you some SCP articles. I'll definitely have to do that again sometime. If you want more content from me, subscribe. I always update on Twitter and Discord, so go ahead and join those if you want to see those updates. The links are in the description. Thank you guys again. Love the stream. I'm so glad. I'll see you guys the week after next week. Yes. And that gives me plenty of time to plan what the heck to do next. Goodbye, guys. I hope you guys have a great spring break. Bye-bye.